Today, we are probably going to be doing the best episode we will ever do of all time because we are talking about the best anime, opinion based, of all time. Today, we're going through every single detail that you might have missed in Attack on Titan.
Suck it, nerds.
Welcome back to the More Than Cartoon podcast. I'm your host, Kyle, here with my co-host, Will, and we are going in a journey. I'm asking you to go along with us because I'm doing something. Will's being blindsided with this, just so you know. We're going on a journey because I have a list, a mountain of things that we, including me, have missed watching Attack on Titan. You could say you've watched Attack on Titan 1,000 times. I guarantee you, through this journey, there's going to be at least one you didn't notice because we're going through season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. There's so much that we're going to go through that we have to split this up into multiple episodes. We're going to talk about season 1 through this mainly. Now we can branch off to different variations.
So we're making a series.
We're doing a series.
I like that.
We're doing
that's
a journey. I want you to come along with me, Will, because
that's cool.
what we're doing, there's so much to unpack in season 1. Now this is going to have ties to season 2, 3, and 4. So spoilers for anyone who's listening. If you've not seen it, please, because we're going to go through everything. Some of it might not seem like, oh, was that in season 1? It might, it might not. I'm just giving you a list of what I have right now because when I was doing this, there were so many. I had to stop. I had to stop. We have to do by season by season.
It's so true too because, like, as somebody, I've watched Attack on Titan multiple times. When you go back for that second or that third watch through, just even doing that, you you notice things. You're like, oh, whoa, I didn't pick that up the first time through, or you're like, whoa, that's like. That thing right there is pointing to this thing that happens in season 3, but we don't even know that that's going to be the thing that's going to happen because you're watching season 1 at the time, right? And so it's so true. And this video idea, or I guess a series that we're going to do, Super Cool With Me, was kind of inspired by just me commenting in last week's podcast, like, hey, I don't understand the Attack on Titan hate because it's such a well-written story. And for me, that's what it always goes back to, is the story. Is the story done well? The art, there might be plot holes. There might be things that you don't like about the story, but is the story done well? And Isayama obviously knew what he was doing with Attack on Titan because it's so good. And like, I'll even go on like out on a limb and say, like, if you just say that Attack on Titan is trash, that's a, I hate to say you're brain dead, but that's the main thing that I can think is, like, it's a brain dead opinion because you can say, I don't like Attack on Titan. It's not for me. And that's valid. That's totally valid. If you don't like it and it's not your thing, totally get it. But to say something that is objectively a masterpiece of storytelling and then anime, just to say it's trash is just objectively wrong. It's like people saying
100%.
Yeah, it's like people saying that Frieren is trash. That's objectively wrong. Like, Frieren is not for me. I do not like it.
Okay, I was about to say you better put that in there.
No, yeah, for sure. That's why I bring that example up. I do not like that show. It's not for me. But I can look at it objectively and understand that it is a good, well put together show, and people enjoy it. Not for me, not my thing, but I'll never say that it's bad, that it's, a trash show. So that's kind of what inspired this series, I guess we're going to do, because there's so much layers to Attack on Titan, so many layers. It's like a donkey, right? They have layers, like, or an ogre, not a donkey.
Thank you. Get it right.
Ogres have layers. So yeah, I'm excited about it too.
I'll tell you right off, when Will mentioned this, because we've always hinted that Attack on Titan, there's always been some variation that we've talked about Attack on Titan in a podcast. I'm going through the second time watching it. The first time for my wife, because she finally gave down, I broke her down, boys, to watch Attack on Titan, and now she is obsessed. Yeah. She is obsessed. I had to hold her back. I don't know why. I had to hold her back from watching Attack on Titan because she was so into it. I mean, there's times where I'm like, all right, we need to go to bed. She's like, no, one more, pushing
one more. Yeah, for real.
The amount of enjoyment I've had watching this anime that I was scared to watch for the second time, scared. I love it way more. And it has only solidified the fact that this is the best anime of all time. Attack on Titan, from start to finish, they give you everything you need to know, but you don't notice it. And that's why we want to make this video. Because when Will said he wanted to make this video, I'm not going to come into this and being like, yeah, let's just talk about Attack on Titan. Oh, I like this. I like this. No. I'm going to explain to you why I like this anime. I'm going to show you why. Now, there are things we're going to be talking about. It's going to be strictly from the anime. So anime only. This is for you. But also, there's going to be some that derived from the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Now, both are a masterpiece, but I'll tell you this: if you want to talk about animation, where it goes back and forth, when it went to what
From
was
Wit
it, Wit
Studio to
Studio
Mappa.
to Mappa,
Yeah.
I'll say, watching the second time now, I agree with everyone.
Yeah.
Originally, I didn't say that because I was like, I didn't notice it the first time. I didn't really notice the animation
because
change.
of the massive gaps between seasons. It was
Yes.
easy to miss if you're watching it as it's coming
Oh,
out.
no, not only that, but it was terrible. With Studio, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Beautiful. When it went to Mappa, they definitely relied on CGI in the beginning. This is when they were still kind of being new. And so it showed definitely.
Yeah.
But where everything starts with episode 1 on our journey that we're taking on this series that we're taking Attack on Titan, we need to talk about episode 1 of Attack on Titan. So much to unpack from there. So much to unpack. We're going to talk about the dreams and stuff like that a little bit later, but I wanted you to know, first thing, when you notice the scouts on patrol, the first time you notice, all right, you see a character named Moses. Don't really get to know about him. The only time you know about him is when the mom is, as they're approaching back into town after all of them, or most of them are dead or injured. The mom approaches like, where's my son? She's saying his last name. In the manga, it's called Braun, right? That's also hinted as, here's one thing,
Sasha.
later on in those. No. It's also hinted as Reinhardt's name. And if you look at them, they look very similar. Some people are speculating that that's either his long-lost cousin or his father he never met. Think about that.
Well, how would it be his father he never met? Because he wasn't born on Paradis.
Exactly. So here's the thing I want to understand. When people make that claim, well, Reiner was married. Oh, Reiner was conceived and he was born in Marley.
Yeah.
He is of Eldian blood.
Right. So if his father would have been exiled to Paradis, he would have been a Titan.
He would have been turned into a Titan.
Yeah.
So that claim right there, when people say that, I don't have much validity in it, but they do look very similar. Because when you watch the trailer, or not the trailer, when you watch the video of them, they both blonde.
They could be relative, like they could be descendants.
They could be related.
Totally possible. They could be related. Right? That's totally possible. And maybe that's what Isayama was trying to do, was trying to like hint at like, hey, there's like there's distant relatives that are still here related to these other people. It just could be his little nod to something.
And the more I've noticed it too, you can see that there's things that he did that he had a direction for this.
Yeah. And
then he kind of changed it, but he had the ending always in mind. And I'll explain that later on. But second point, kind of deriving from Marley, we're told about Marley in the beginning, because in the first episode, the first title card you see the wall, you see some Titans, and then you see Paradis, you see Marley, and in between, here's a hint that no one noticed, and some people are speculating also. There's a ship in the middle. It's very faint, but you can see a ship. People are speculating that that's the ship that Reiner, Annie, Bertolt were riding to Paradis. That right there, amazing. How can they automatically tell you everything right in the beginning and you have no idea what's going on?
Well, it's a great example. Like, think about a different anime, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. If you look at the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 opening trailer, like we're talking about here for Season 1, the trailer, the Jujutsu Kaisen, if you know the details, like if you know like the secrets, JJK Season 3's opening trailer tells you all the stuff that's about to happen in Season 3. Like it just, but very artistically, right? So like you have to know in order to be able to recognize it, but like in a veiled way, that trailer is telling you what all is about to happen. And there's a lot of, like, I wouldn't say all of the Attack on Titan trailers do this, but a lot of them do give you like these subtle kind of like foreshadowing moments. Like when you see like when the walls are actually finally breached and stuff later on, and you see like that's what the intro is. You see the intros being the walls being overrun and all this crazy stuff. So yeah.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Do you think that skipping intros is important?
I'll tell you why I think it's important that you don't. At least once.
Explain.
I love writing. I love reading. I'm a huge fan of reading and stories. And because of that, I really love movies and I love anime. So I think a lot of my love for anime comes from my love of stories and my love of writing. And so I took creative writing classes in college. And my creative writing teacher professor told me something that I will never forget. On day one, he was like, "All right, I'm going to ask everybody a question." And this ties into your point. When you're watching a movie or when you're watching a TV show, but more specifically a movie, but anime, I would connect anime to this with movie a lot more than just a TV show, because TV show like intros can be weird and random. When you're watching let's just say when you're watching an anime or a movie, do you skip the opening credits? Do you skip that to get to the movie? And some people raised their hands, some people didn't. And they were like, he goes, "Okay, I'm going to tell you why you should never skip the credits." Specifically with the movie, because you're only watching that movie one time, right? But same theory with anime. Because the opening credits for a movie are setting the theme and the tone for the rest of the movie. So if you skip it, you're missing out on that first little bit that the directors wanted to create the theme and set the tone for what the vibe of this movie is going to be. And so I've always likened that to intros as well on anime. So that doesn't mean I don't think you should watch them all the time. I always watch them at least once. And then I'll skip it. And then when a new one comes up, I'm like, oh, there's a new intro. That means something new is about to happen. Let me watch this intro again, this new intro. So I think it's important to watch them at least once, because it's setting the tone for at least what's going to happen in that arc.
Well, I agree with you completely. I think you should watch them. But at the same time, I don't like watching anime intros. Just flat out. I hate watching them because anime intros ruin anime for me as an experience. I like watching specifically animes that have a lot of twists, plot twists. Attack on Titan, for example. When the anime intro shows you exactly what's going to happen within that arc, or give away certain details. Again, with Attack on Titan, I think it's season 4, when they're back on Paradis. You can see that the rumbling is starting. I know we're all fearing it's going to happen. You can see it.
This is going to happen. Yeah,
it's going to happen. That ruins the experience for me. So I agree. When I watch the anime, I will watch the intros then later on, because I do like the intros. Don't get me wrong. I love intros and outros. I do not like the fact that they spoil a plot twist driven anime.
Sure.
When they take that away from me, I don't like that. And it's just a regular anime, like if you have JJK, where they give you a hint, especially JJK, they're infamous for this. The first season intro, they have, I can't remember his name, but Itadori's friend. They're hinting that. No. All right, this will make sense for you. Itadori has a friend that he is hinted in the intro that he goes to JJK High with them, or wherever their school, their sorcery school with them. That is when the guy with all the scars, can't remember his name, he turns him into that little kind of dog-looking Eeyore looking.
The kid that gets turned into the
that makes
spirit.
Yes, that Itadori loses.
That Mahito like.
Yes, Mahito. Thank you.
Okay.
That right there was one of the best things, because like everyone was expecting him to join.
Yeah.
With Itadori and Megumin and Nabara.
That twist right there. Yeah.
That right there. I like that with intros, because you're expecting one thing and then it flips you.
I think the majority of people don't look that much into intros. And so I kind of like that for those of us that want to look into it. Yeah. But, oh man, are you aware of how Jujutsu Kaisen like ends? Have you read the manga, or are you like not?
Nope, don't you dare. Will, this is an Attack on Titan video. You better not be doing anything crazy.
It's not a spoiler, but there's one of the outros. I'm not going to give any details, but one of the outros, something's happening in the outro, and a lot of people, including myself, with that outro would come up and I'd just be like, what does this mean? Like, what is going on here in this outro? What's the relevance of this? And that becomes very, very relevant later on. Something happens and you're like, whoa, that's such a cool Easter egg, like that was happening there. And now it makes sense.
An Easter egg based outro or intro, I can understand that.
Yeah.
But when it gives away what's going to happen, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that. Easter egg that actually changed. All right. So we talked about Attack on Titan's author. He had a vision, an end goal. But he kind of changed it. He kind of veered off. Because if you look in the first episode, when Eren has his dream, you can see a sequence where there's a forest and you can see Levi, Armin. Let's see, let me get it all. It's Connie, Sasha, Jan, Armin, Levi, and Mikasa, all dead in a forest. They're all wrapped around trees, dead, blood surrounding them. Okay, kind of like imagine in game when Tony has that vision. This right here shows what he had originally planned.
Interesting.
But he changed it. He altered it because if you know what happens with Aaron's vision, Aaron's dream, because it's not a dream, it's a vision. He changed it. He altered his vision of what he wanted because for some reason he got struck with genius. Because either way, that still would have been fine. Because the forest, it looks like, is the scouts' forest they go into to keep the Beast Titan from forming in there. Because it's the perfect area for the ODM gear.
Yeah.
So that right there, it makes me wonder what changed his mind. What made him go off of that direction to where he originally wanted this, and it ends up like this? Or was his mindset the same thing like it was with Endgame? Because Aaron has said throughout the whole series, he just wants to keep his friends safe, the people he cares about safe. So if he's scared, he wants to flatten the rest of the world and keep those people safe. That makes sense. If he sees that in his vision, which is kind of controlling his path.
Or, I mean, Isayama could have changed down the line, or he could have had like, I don't know which direction. I'm going to go one of these two directions, but I can put this in there. And if it becomes, and he gets to decide if it becomes true or not.
But even right there shows how genius it is, because either way, it could be kind of like Endgame, or it could be like I said, Tony Stark, Avengers, kind of like that, or he changed his mind. Either way, it's genius because like the way he ended it, perfect. I love the way and the route he went it. But what I didn't notice, and I don't know how I feel about this, but at the same time, the author has stated multiple times how he doesn't like bullies. And if you see in season 1, Armin has bullies. Yes. In season 1, Armin has multiple bullies, 3 in particular. You see multiple times. And you always see Aaron coming in to save him, getting his butt kicked, and then having Mikasa actually save the day.
Save him. Yeah.
Our author, the genius himself, decides the first season to have him killed off. We didn't notice it, but you see it.
The kids that were bullying Armin?
Oh, yeah. They get full on deleted. All right. Not just wiped out. No. They get smashed. When Bearhalt is doing the kick and all the rocks are coming, you see a clip of a kid getting hit with the rock, flattened. It's one of the kids. The other 2 kids were around them, so you can speculate. They're no longer with us.
Yeah. Interesting.
So something like that, you see what already happened, because like that's something I always wondered what happened to the bullies. You thought maybe he could get a redemption. Maybe, they see how he's a hero now, Aaron, or even Armin, and maybe they could get an apology or, something like they could have done more with that storyline. I was like, what happened with that? They just forget him? No. They just full on got deleted, smashed. Smushed.
It's wild how many situations there are like this in Attack on Titan, where there's these little
you didn't
like
notice it.
These little strings that are wrapped up. They you never notice. And
it's like 6 frames, and then
there's even like, I mean, this might be something that like you bring up, but it's hard to tell without having like visual aids. But there's points in Attack on Titan where, like obviously we said, spoilers galore in this series, right? But like Aaron in season 4 realizes that he can essentially time travel with the founding Titans powers. There's scenes where you see Aaron and Zeke in the background as their adult selves. And you can realize, oh snap, that's freaking Aaron and Zeke having traveled back from the future. It's crazy.
Oh, multiple times you see that. And I do believe I have it in this list. Now, if not, you'll hear us talk about it multiple times. But Attack on Titan's biggest thing is about sacrifice. And this one, I don't know why, but it makes me choke up. Even now talking about it makes me feel a little emotional, because first off, this is an anime. Why am I getting emotional? But this is why it's so good. Because Carla, right? The source of Aaron's anger towards Titans, his mother. When she has the house crushed on top of her, she tells Aaron one thing specifically, the reason why he should stop trying to free her. She says her legs are crushed. They won't work.
Yep. I know this one.
When apparently Aaron's mother-in-law.
So who Titan. It is who it
rips
is.
her out.
It's not Aaron's. It's Aaron's stepmother, technically.
Stepmother.
It's
That's
Aaron's
stepmother.
dad's first wife. So it's
Yes.
Dinah, who's the actual royal blood, who's
Rips
the one
her
that's doing
out.
it. Yeah.
And as she's ripping her out, you see those little toes kicking.
You see her legs
back and forth.
And you're like, oh, snap. Her legs weren't broken.
Which one makes me realize if the what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. I'm just blanking on it. But the officer that came to take Era and Mikasa away.
Oh,
if he just showed up a little bit sooner,
Hannes.
He probably could have lifted it. And if that happened, what if that changed everything? Here's another thought that just came to my mind too. If Aaron can time travel, why didn't he go back then and help lift up that? But technically, if he altered that,
yeah,
it would have changed the whole future. But then at the same time, he did alter the past though when he told his dad to do it. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Dude, it gets some really trippy, timey-wimey stuff when like you really like start to think about it. It makes your head hurt.
Yeah, because he had to alter the past to change the future. But at the same time, he can't change the future, so he had to alter the past. So it's just a whole time loop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
When you realize that all the stuff that's happening is because Grisha Yeager, Aaron's dad, did all this stuff behind the scenes that like watching in season 1 and 2 and stuff, you don't really know that everything that Aaron's dad did. But, you know, there's all this backstory of what Grisha Yeager did, right? And you're like, okay, so because of Aaron's dad's actions, all of this is happening. But then when you realize the only reason Aaron's dad did all of that is because Aaron came back from the future to influence his dad. And it's like he orchestrated his own birth and his own death. And so like it can really hurt your brain if you think about like, well, what if he didn't do that? Or it's so the writing is so beautiful in it that like it not only is the development.
Hence why we have to do a series.
Yeah, but it makes you think and it makes you really postulate and speculate. It even says these interesting things like and this is talking about the end. And when we talk about the final, I'll talk about it more, but the things that happen at the end, like it makes you think about like with this whole timey-wimey stuff, like could anything ever really be changed? Like, is it just destiny, or are we cursed to just live out what is supposed to happen regardless of what we do? And then there's things at the very end, in the very final moments of Attack on Titan, that these things happen. And I looked at it when I watched it as it ended, and I looked at it and I said, dang, is he trying to say that humanity is cursed to just do the same thing over
and over again?
And over. It's really, really brilliant. But yeah,
a lot of that we'll be talking about more. And I do want to hint this too before we get into the next topics and all that. We will give, hopefully in our final episode on the series Attack on Titan, because like I said, with a series, with an anime as good as this, you can't just do it in one episode. We could. This would be a long episode.
You know what would be the perfect last episode? Is to have Bryce Papenbrook on. I've worked.
That'd be great.
I've worked with Bryce a bunch of times on stuff. Next time I see him at Collecticon, I'll ask if he wants to come on, and that would be a great.
With the last episode, that'd be perfect actually. But the last episode, I want to hint at our final. Obviously, give our final sayings on this anime, but then whether or not, because we've talked about multiple times, whether or not Aaron was justified. Definitely give that. But I do want to talk about last before we get in the next little list of these. It just shows with Aaron's mom, her sacrifice of what she was willing to do, how great of a person she was.
Yeah.
And I think that's a trait you see past in Aaron, because she's willing to sacrifice herself for her kids, for the people she cares about to go on. Just how Aaron is willing to sacrifice himself. But something like that, it just makes me so emotional.
I think it's so good, but he does it in a different way.
Oh, he does it in a wrong way.
He like sacrifices his humanity in order to save the people that he loves.
I don't think he sacrifices. I think his true self, which is what you see as his mom, and it states that like you can see he resembles more of his mom at times than his father until he grows out his hair. But I think that also kind of shows too. And this is just me thinking, but like the more he resembles his mom, the more of who he is. But the more he starts looking at his dad, not really want to say mind control, because everyone says that Aaron is mind controlled. I don't believe he's being controlled. All right, I believe his mind is being altered. Here's the thing. You have to think about when someone is being passed on the Attack Titan, you get all their memories.
Right.
Anytime, you get all their memories as well. So that person becomes a piece of you. You have to think about this. If you take the final season, and this is kind of another thing we'll talk about probably in the 4th episode, take the final season when Ymir and Eren is trying to get the power from Ymir, the founder Titan or the original Titan. You kind of see that all of this is stemming from her will, what she wants. So if you look at her mind, what she wants, she has just wanted freedom the whole time. Is stemming down through every single person that has been passed on the Titan form. Maybe that is some kind of representation that this is her doing more than Eren's doing. But we can get more into that on the final episode. Okay, that's just something, little taste for you to think about. Okay, just a little taste. Now,
and obviously, everybody listening, we are assuming that you are familiar with Attack on Titan, right? Because we're not like going through and
if not, this is going to make you want to rewatch it,
right? Like, so we're not going to go through and explain like this happened, and then in episode 2 this happened. This isn't like a recap. It's like just a deep dive into like all of the Easter eggs and the things that happen throughout the series.
Because something that's as simple as seeing Annie, Reiner, and Bertolt when they are going to pick up rations, or when they're given announcements of saying their first wave of soldiers getting sent out. You see images of them. But we had no idea who they were. We thought they were just regular people. Watching the second time, you notice this. Or maybe you just notice right from the start.
Then you realize it's after the attack that they've changed back to the human forms, and they're just like assimilating into society. They're
just refugees. And I think the most well-known, and one that I wish I had noticed, because I think I try to be visual when I watch a lot of animes, but this one I did not notice. Eren's healing steam.
Okay.
In season 1. Yeah. Stuff that we know when you get damaged as a Titan, when you're healing, steam comes off.
Yeah.
When Eren is in the training arc and fails with his ODM gear and falls on his head.
This is way before you realize he has Titan powers.
Steam is coming from his head. Once again, showing you everything you need to know. But you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea. And knowing that Eren already has the Titan form.
Even if you do see it, you assume that it's just the heat rising off of him from working so hard, right? If it,
you think it's just a cliche anime, oh, I'm thinking too hard, I'm overworked.
Yeah, like he's overworked, maybe he's cold outside, and but once you know and you realize, because if you're listening or you're watching, you don't know what we're talking about. When people that are Titan wielders, when they get hurt, they're not immortal, but like they have regenerative powers. And so if they get hurt or they get a limb chopped off or something or whatever, like the steam rises from that wound as it slowly heals itself. And that's obviously revealed later on once you realize there's human wielders of Titans. And then so that scene where Eren hurts himself and that steam is revealed. There's just so many instances where he's just like giving you little hints.
I'll tell you guys right now, we're about to be on 12 out of 32 of these little details. Okay. I know we're running through them a little bit fast, but at the same time, I want you to understand, just to keep you in here, 16 might be my favorite. 16 might be my favorite game. I'll let you know when we get to that one.
And we're definitely still on season 1.
We're only on season 1. Season 1, in that same episode we were just talking about with steam coming out of his head. They're all asking Eren about these Titans, what's going on, all this stuff. When he mentions the armored Titan, what it was like seeing it, it points the camera straight to Reiner. The camera is snitching on him. It's literally saying, this is him. But we had no idea. We thought, oh, he's just listening. He's like nonchalant listening. No. No. The author was telling you right from the start. Genius. I love it. The Trost Titans. Okay. The Trost Titans. The first pure Titans that you see coming into the wall that breach in. Those Titans.
In the battle for Trost, which is such an epic little arc, by the way.
Beautiful.
It's one of the first like major, because one of the things Attack on Titan does so well is you don't just have like a bunch of these tiny little skirmishes all the time. You have like these huge multi-episodic, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes of these massively dramatic battle moments, followed up with like all of the fallout. And then you get, so it's not like you just get this quick, it's like Dragon Ball Z when a battle used to take forever, but that was just because everything was moving slowly, right? You'd have the battle between, I think the battle between Goku and Frieza was, God, it was so long. It's like that, but with Attack on Titan, like stuff's actually actively consistently happening. One of the things I love about the battle for the battle for Trost is one of the first
beautiful.
It's one of
my favorite,
if not the first, like big like engagement that you see. And something that like you before that you see like the fear in everybody as they're like, when Titans attack and all, you see how
Mhm.
fearful people are. But now you're seeing the scouts and the cadets that you've been
Mhm.
following for several episodes
And
now.
this is Aaron actually
Yeah.
willing and able to do
Yeah.
something
Yep.
about it now.
So you're seeing all
It's
of these
so good.
kids that have trained, and you're seeing how freaking terrified and like underprepared they are for
Oh,
what they're going into. It's
hold that thought.
it's
Oh.
harrowing. It's absolutely chilling.
It's crazy to think about that because in that, this is when the Colossal Titan pretty much just spawns next to Aaron when he's on
Mhm.
top of the wall. And this is when he decides, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight. And everything that happens when you have the Colossal Titan kick through the wall, all those Titans that come in, as you see, you've seen these Titans multiple times again. Those are Titans that you see all the way 2 seasons later in season 3 in Grisha's, I think it's Grisha's backstory. These are the Titans that are from Paradis. These are the, what was it, the recreationists or what were their names?
Not revolutionist,
Restorationists.
restoration. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, these are the restorationists that
You're right.
Eldian people got captured and they were turned into Titans, the pure Titans. So showing that Marley is still attacking. This is a full-on Marley attack because these are people who are from Marley, but they have Eldian blood, so they're Titans.
Yep.
When you have the Colossal Titan, the Attack Titan, all showing up, coming up for this. This is a full frontal Marley attack.
A lot of I doubt this is one of your points, but a lot of like if you think about when that happens, right? What you're about to talk about, and then if you think about when the first time the Colossal Titan kicks through the walls, and it's like Titans aren't just constantly bum rushing the walls, right? They're just kind of all over the place, stupid and wandering around. Well, in these engagements, this is something that I figured out myself. And it's easy to piece together, but it's like when this happens, why is there all of a sudden a bajillion Titans there? Well, it's because that's Annie's special ability as the female Titan. She calls all these Titans, and so there's in these big engagements, there's hints of all 3 of their special abilities, but you don't really know
being put to use
until you know later on, and then you can look back and be like, oh, okay.
One eye that I love. This is, I love it. And again, spoiler warning. But in that, right before you find out that Aaron is a Titan, he's being eaten
straight up
by a Titan because he's trying to save Armin.
He does.
This one's going to have it. It's going to be a 2-for-1. He's trying to save Armin, pushes him out, and he gets eaten.
Bit off, which is crazy.
But at one point, right before they're bitten off, he's rising up the Titan's mouth, trying to prevent him from closing his mouth. And he says these words, I won't die here, meaning I won't die inside the mouth of a Titan. But our author, the foreshadowing, how ironic is it that he dies technically inside of his Titan's mouth.
Yeah. Oh, I never
put
that together. Yeah.
Oh, Will. I mean, if I'm not right now, goosebumps.
I never put that together. That's so
Think
true,
about
though.
it. It is. I honestly could marry this guy at this point. His writing is exquisite. Exquisite, the perfect word for it. But at the same time, in that scene, I just said he saved Armin, right? What happens is when he does his full Titan form and actually comes out of the Titan, that's in front of Armin. But Armin is so distraught and traumatized because you see in the previous episode, or you see like a little pan through the episode, you see he go through full Titan form in front of Armin. So paranoid, so much trauma that happened to him seeing your friend being eaten, he doesn't remember it.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember it. So when you said showing all this stuff that's happened to all these people, like all the actual effects, not like you've been primed and ready and trained for war. But when it happens, something like that happens in front of you, your mind, it shows 2 different things.
His mind wasn't comprehending what was actually happening. And also, it's not anything that they thought was possible at the time, right? So like you're seeing something that you've never even fathomed. It's so far beyond you thinking it's possible that you never even thought about the possibility of this being a reality, right? It's like coming across something that you never even knew could possibly exist happens, plus all the trauma that's going on. And like, he can't process it and doesn't even know, like, of course his mind just like, pushes it out. It's yeah.
So this right here shows that Armin and Aaron are two complete different people. Because when he saw I'm talking about Aaron, when he saw the Colossal Titan right in front of him, there's a moment where he hesitated and he said, no, this is our moment. And he's like, he wasn't going to back down. He was going to make true of what he said. He was ready for it. Armin wasn't. He was traumatized. But the fact that we saw the first transformation, first actual transformation for Aaron was right in front of Armin's eyes, and he couldn't even remember that, shows you how traumatizing this show is. Because when you see stuff like this, you're like, why are they so worried about that? But this is some messed up stuff happening right in front of their eyes. Some terrifying things that are happening in front of their eyes.
Yeah.
Living in constant fear, not knowing what's going on, not prepared, not ready for any of this stuff. You can be trained, but you're not mentally prepared for this.
Well, and even as a viewer, like they hold no punches as a viewer. Even to the tune, you're like, oh yeah, Attack on Titan, these giants, they eat people. No, they eat people that you've been following around for multiple episodes and rip them apart limb from limb while the character is screaming, oh God, please help me. Oh God, no, no, no. And you're witnessing this as a viewer. So even as a viewer, the punches aren't pulled, because there's times where I was like, oh my God, what? And it's like, it's heavy, but it's I'm not I'm not somebody that loves gore for the sake of gore, but
I think it's done right.
Yes, it makes sense in the world that they're in.
Now, do you remember the first time you watched Attack on Titan and saw Eren get eaten?
Yeah.
Do you remember that feeling was like, he's dead. There's no way surviving this? Did you have that mindset?
Yeah, because I originally watched it in 2013 when season 1 originally came out in Japanese. And so we're watching it on old school Crunchyroll as it's coming out an episode at a time. So they weren't all releasing at once. If I'm not they weren't all releasing at once. So we saw that episode and they were like, they just freaking killed the main character. But you have to understand, watching Attack on Titan in 2013 was watching Attack on Titan before it was Attack on Titan. Like it didn't have the cultural significance. It didn't have this massive following. There was no English dub. It was just the one.
What a time to be in, though. I mean, dude, you're part of history.
So if I may pat myself on the back here, right? Like talk like OG.
Oh, you
fans,
tourist.
OG, like watching it from the beginning and loving it for the love of the game, not because anybody was saying it was good, but looking at it and realizing this like is crazy and I've never seen anything like this before. Because at the time I'd been watching anime for 12, 13 years already, and like haven't seen anything like this at the time. And then when that happens, I'm like, what the, like, did they just kill the main character? Because he's so good at, like, when I was talking about Armin, seeing that, and like Armin can't even fathom that that's something that's possible, right? As a viewer, like, we have no idea. I remember, I think I might have thought to myself, like, I wonder if there's people that can control Titans. Like before you see Eren like turn into one, I didn't think that like there was people that were Titans. I just kind of thought,
that was
like,
never my mindset.
Yeah,
never.
Only thing that I was like, I wonder if there's people, like, if people are controlling them somehow or like influencing them to do things somehow. That's really all I had thought.
Not me at all.
Yeah, seeing Eren turn it was a mind-boggling twist. Like, oh my God, like this is something that can happen. And then even then, you're like, well, he's special, right? Like, what's so special about him? Well, he's not. There's more.
I remember the first time watching Attack on Titan and seeing Eren get eaten, and I was thinking to myself, they pulled a Game of Thrones. They killed off the main character.
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't against it. I was for it.
Now what do we do?
But then you realize he's a Titan. And then after that, your mind goes from how are they going to survive from these Titans, realizing that Titans are humans. Then it makes you start thinking he can't be the only one. Then it makes you start thinking, are they controlling? What's the actual objective of all this? Where did Titans come from? Everything. It blows my mind.
And then it makes you think, well, where did all these regular Titans come from?
Oh, but Will, if you look at pure Titans, they tell you in the beginning when you're going to overview a brief of Titans, they tell you we don't know why that Titans only go after humans. They don't have anything for animals. They don't need to eat. They don't have to survive it. They can only move during the day.
Just want to.
They rest during the night. Here's the thing. First off, that shows their humanity, right? You know, resting at night, only going during the day, simple stuff like that. Also, the only time humans would practically be active. Here's the thing. This is the point I want to tell you. Number 16, one I love right here. Why Titans eat humans.
Okay.
This blew my mind. Again, they don't need food. They only go after humans. They only eat humans. Why? Because rooted in their brain, in their mindset as Titan form, if they eat someone who has a Titan ability that can revert back to human, that is rooted in their biometrics that they have to go after eat people to eventually potentially turn back into a Titan. Because you see this, like what happens to Ymir.
It's like a primal thing.
Exactly. When you see it happen to Ymir when she eats the Jaw Titan, or was it the Jaw Titan? Or she eats, I can't remember what Titan.
She eats the jaw.
That right there astounds me. I love something like that because why do they only go after human? What is their purpose? Maybe they're just trained to be like this? No.
It's just like a primal instinct.
Think about that, dude. That blew my freaking mind when I first thought about that. Their whole objective is to revert back to being human. Because so then they can pass on the Titan form.
Here's the interesting thing, because the pure Titans, if I'm putting the lore together correctly, the pure Titans aren't natural. They never were natural Titans. They're
stemming from other Titans.
Yeah, so the 9 Titan wielders, right? They stem from the founder, and so they're all natural, right? They get their ability from the founder. They're the natural Titans. The pure Titans come from having the spinal fluid of a Titan, of one of the 9 wielders injected into you. So they're abominations, more or less. Like, you can look at the 9 wielders as natural phenomenon, sort of.
You can see it as their body telling them they need to fix this wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
They need to find the original form.
Which is like a flaw. Which is a
think
flaw
about that.
Yeah, it's like a flaw in the fact that they're created. They're not a natural creation. That's
and
really
showing that
cool.
They'll eat their maker.
Yeah, dude. That's really cool. And so that urge, because as the warriors or as the other Titans, they know, hey, this is how it's passed down. It's just this is natural. So it's like a little remnant of that. Dude. That's really cool. That's a new one. That's the first one you've said that was a new one. That's kind of mind blowing. That's
let's go,
super
Will.
Cool. Yeah,
let's go. And we're only at 16. We're only at 16.
Super cool.
Oh, number 17. Just gonna hop straight into it. I can't give you guys a breather because for me, my heart's pounding right now. It is racing because I love this show so much. Mikasa and the Mantis. Every time you see her, there's always a symbol for everything. You see symbols for flowers. You see symbols for a mantis. You see symbol for a butterfly. Oh, Mikasa in episode 6 of season 1. You see a backstory of her, and you see her looking at a praying mantis. What do praying mantis do? They eat their loved ones. Okay.
More specifically,
but what do they do?
The male after they mate.
That, or more specifically, they take off the head. Who does Mikasa love?
With a scything motion.
And who does she love? Where you have the symbol of a butterfly, freedom, always seen with Eren. And then cuts to another time you see Mikasa with the praying mantis. You see her eating a butterfly. The praying mantis eating a butterfly.
That's right.
There's a small, quick scene. We had no idea.
Yeah.
But you see her, praying mantis, Eren, butterfly. He told us right from the start.
How much time did the person spend watching Attack on Titan and reading the manga who put this list together?
When I found out the fact that he says he will never make an anime like Attack on Titan, you don't need to. I'm gonna tell you, you don't need to. There's no way this amount of time and energy. I'm surprised you're still living on this because the fact is you have Hunter x Hunter guy. Every time he writes just one chapter, his back starts hurting. This right here is a masterpiece, sir. You've earned yours. Take a rest.
For real. Now, I'd love to see what he could cook up next. But I don't think
I don't want to though, because this is so good for me.
But what if he has good? What if he has something? What if he has another amazing story to tell? That's like
I think I have Stockholm syndrome. I'm stuck to this dude. I need it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, not affiliated with Attack on Titan, but he just makes something completely new. Like, what if he has another badass story to tell? That'd be really cool.
So after the flashback with Mikasa, with her powers awakened, before she saves Eren from the kidnapper,
Mhm,
right? You can
mhm.
see that that's actually her powers awakening.
Yeah.
Later on the show, Aaron
Her
first
bloodline, the Ackerman bloodline, like,
uses.
thing.
Yes, it's just super strength, which then you find out later on that Aaron uses this and lies to her. Oh, that
Mhm.
kills me when he lied to her. Because originally, when I first watched it, I thought it was true. I was like, oh, yeah, this is something that's been in her brain that she's supposed to protect Aaron. No, no, no. After watching the second time through, I realized the man lied to her, and it kills me. Oh, it kills me. But he had to, Kyle. He had to. So the first time using his founding Titan abilities, Aaron punches his mother, who is royalty,
Mhm,
saving Mikasa from the Smiling Titan, which is also his mom.
mhm. Stepmom, not his mom. Stepmom.
So again, stepmom. Yes, yes, correct. Saving her from his stepmom. Both of their powers awaken, saving each other. The first time you actually see like their true powers. You see Mikasa's true power trying to save Aaron from
And
the kidnapper.
him being able to control his power
Yes,
because he consciously
and then
makes that choice.
and then you see with Aaron, his ability, his first true power is when he's trying to save Mikasa.
Yes.
Something like that right there is just like both their powers awaken, saving each other.
Yeah. It's like they were
they're the ones
destined
that-
to be together or something.
But then, freaking praying mantis. Okay, here's another one: the pomegranate shot. Apparently, for pomegranates, that means death, also in rebirth. So in season 1, episode 7, right before Aaron saves Mikasa in Titan form, we briefly see this shot of a pomegranate. Pomegranates are also sometimes depicted as a symbol of death, resurrection, or rebirth, symbolizing Mikasa accepting Aaron's death at the time, right before he jumps over her and starts beating the crap out of the other Titan. Because when the two Titans come forward, you see a glimpse of a pomegranate. This is her accepting her death, but also accepting Aaron's death. But also, it has another form of resurrection, showing that Aaron is still alive.
Interesting.
Again, something like that, wouldn't know.
Symbolic.
Wouldn't know. Yeah, the symbology is crazy. Now,
the word you're looking for is symbolism. Sorry, that's a quote.
So in episode 10, where Aaron transforms to protect Mikasa and Armin from the cannon, the warrior's reaction.
That partial transformation, which is cool.
Yes, when he just does the arm. Yes. So the warrior's reaction to this is heavily emphasized. And then they rush over to evaluate the situation. Once again, foreshadowing that they aren't really who they say they are.
Yeah. Because they're terrified, but then they rush over there to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so once well, they're Titan wielders themselves, and to see that happen, of course, and then it's not like Marco, it's the attack Titan, but they knew that they were coming to capture the attack Titan, but did they know it was him at that time? I don't remember.
So here's one that also kind of blew my mind, but at the same time, I hate it. It hurts me. Number 21. Pixis's death was foreshadowed.
Okay.
In one episode, you see Pixis drinking. Somebody says, someday you will die from drinking.
Yeah.
And what happens? He decides to drink the Marleyan wine that is fixed, that it has the spinal fluid in it, and Zeke turns him into a Titan.
Now that's season 4.
They have to kill him.
But,
It's season 4. He dies because of a drink.
Wow. Again. Yeah.
How do you do this? How do you do this? Explain to me this.
This is, like I've said before, you having the end in mind when you're writing the story. It's obvious that you can have people that write and they're just writing as they go, and then you have people that create this world and create the entire storyboard and know where they're going. Maybe they don't know the minutia and the fine details, but they know the overarching things that they want to do, and then they go in and they write out the macro version. Or I'm sorry, the micro version.
Here's our first manga part. Well, sort of this. I think it's our second actual manga part. When Aaron tries to punch Mikasa, So when Aaron is in Titan form and he's actually trying to attack Mikasa, he can't control himself, right? In the manga, in one of the buildings, you can see 2 figures next to a window. That is supposed to be Zeke and Aaron going back in time, watching this event over. Something like that, which honestly, I didn't realize how big of a scene that was until I kept on watching it. Because when I first watched it, I went through it so fast. I was just so hooked. I didn't actually have time to absorb it. The second time watching it, I realized because Mika's a scar. That's how she got her scar. That is something that's with her. But at the same time, something she tried to always hide. But then at the last scene, you see her too when she does her praying mantis bit.
Mm-hmm.
The hair blows back and you see the scar. Tying all this stuff together too just astounds me. Another one that I didn't notice too, a subtle hint, and I didn't understand it. Again, I noticed for the second time watching, but Jean kisses his hand right before he's going to attack the female Titan. So one of the best arcs, I think, of the show, the female Titan, because it's just so much chaos is going on.
It's brutal too.
Right when he's going into that battle, this is after he just lost his best friend. When he decided he's going to join the scouts, you see him holding a piece of ash in his hand. That's the same hand he kisses, making a promise to his buddy that when he sees that female Titan, the reason why he died, he was going to fight for him. And he acts upon that. So he does that kiss, something, a little nod to him, a little saying, I'm thinking of you, buddy.
Yeah.
Again, goosebumps right now. What the heck's going on? I love this show. So good.
John is such an interesting character because I think John's character gets a lot of hate because he's a whiner and a complainer, right? Like John does a lot of, and he's terrified a lot. But what I think
first season, yes, I understand. Yeah, first time watching. Sorry, not first season. No, first time watching. He is.
But what I think a lot of people miss about John's character is, yes, he is all those things, but he's always showing up. He's always rushing into battle, and he's a good example of like somebody that, this person is fearful and terrified and whining and complaining, but he doesn't bail. He doesn't run away. He always does what he's his duty, and he's the epitome, the picture perfect poster child of bravery, like constantly showing up when you're terrified.
Watching the second time through, he is a great leader. Yeah, actually, he is willing to rile everyone up, and he's like, "Come on, guys, let's get back in the fight." Every single time, he's getting people. Even when they had to kill Commander Pixis, he's like, we have to do it. We had to put our comrades at rest. Something that nobody wants to do. He's the first one to step up, even though he wanted to live a luxury life as an MP. Right. He's the first one to step. So a lot of people do hate on him.
He could have been an MP.
He could have.
But what's interesting is if he would have chosen that path, he probably would have died.
Oh, definitely. Oh, because he'd been drinking the wine. 100%. That would have been him. Another one that we also know that's pretty prevalent to see, though, is when Reiner drops his hood during this female Titan arc. He drops his hood to let everyone know because they're hiding from her. Yeah. Because she doesn't know who Eren is, so she can't kill him. He drops her hood to know, hey, take me so I can carve in where Eren is in your hand and fake kill me, even though he can survive. That right there, beautiful. The flower meanings, we talked a lot. Throughout the show, you see all different types of flowers appearing, but mainly you see the same one appear multiple times. This is called a Campaluna, I think it is. Which is supposed to symbolize gratitude and eternal love, which is the same time you see when Eren takes his Titan form and protects them from that cannon right in front of all the MPs, the cannon fire. You see 3 of those flowers coming up, and it shows his love for his friend because that's the first time he pops out. His Italian form. It shows how much he looked. Oh, dude, it is crazy because when the first time watching, I didn't think any of it. The second time watching it, when you see him with the cannon fire protect all of his friends, an MP or someone says, I didn't know there were flowers there. Yeah.
I remember
it shows that he healed the area, and there's flowers symbolizing those 3 flowers. Those are the 3 people he cared the most. Yeah. You know, obviously himself, but also his friends, all attached to him. And you see him hugging him. This man's a genius. This man's genius. Yeah. So the next one we'll talk about is the second opening gives again, we're talking about, openings. It gives a foreshadowing of Hanji's eye. Okay. In the second opening, there's a shot where you can see the side of Hanji's goggles breaking, directly foreshadowing her losing her eye. Okay. That's in season 3. Season 3, my guy. Yeah. So the ending of the show where they across the sea crew, in the second ending sequence of season 1, the identities of the warriors of Ymir are foreshadowing. We see Annie, Reiner, and Bearhalt, right? And you see Ymir standing on the other side of the wall, and we know that these characters are all from the same place, from Marley. Again, symbolizing that the way they show and set it up, saying like, hey, they're all from the other side, and it kind of
Yeah.
symbolizes and shows you that she's not actually from Eldia
Yeah.
or Paradis. She's
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Marley. Another one that they also show that you don't really see it till later on. Well, you see a glimpse of it throughout the show, but you see one specific scene. But the church prayer, when you see Aaron, when he's fighting Annie in that little area and he falls on the church, you can see them all praying in a circle. And the way the layers of the circles are showing, and the way their hands are kind of too, are showing the colossal titans that are forming the walls.
Oh,
but also
okay.
you see this also making sense too when they're talking about when Aaron is in season 4, I believe, when the blonde hair guy is pretty much declaring war on Paradis right before Aaron comes to the floor.
Yeah,
They
Willie
show you
Tiger.
how there's they show you the all the titans are on the wall. You also hear multiple times throughout the season saying no, all the walls are made out of titans. But that right there is showing you before we even knew that the walls are made out of titans.
Just giving you
They're
that little,
praying.
which you don't even find that out till later. Which talk
Exactly.
about, there's just a twist after twist after twist with this show.
Oh yeah.
I forgot I had an Attack on Titan tattoo until I looked down and saw it.
Oh well.
I was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I have an Attack on Titan tattoo.
So, as the fight is coming to an end and Aaron is crashing out over Annie, he says, he says this, I'll destroy the entire world. Again, at the time you're thinking, oh, he's just angry. You know, he's like, I don't care. I'll destroy every single Titan. No, he specifically says, I'll destroy the world, hinting at the rumbling.
Well, what's so interesting about
season
that,
1.
Yeah, what's so interesting is, and again, Isayama takes you on a journey as the viewer. You're learning the same things as the characters are learning. You think that the world is just within those walls, right? At that time, you think that's what the whole world is. So think about that, say, as far as he's concerned, like there's not much to the world. There's just this little bit of humanity, and then whatever else is around in the world. So really, that's not a huge threat because the world isn't that big of a great place at the time, but it continues to evolve and adapt.
And for our final point I want to go into, this one ties in technically into season 2, but this actually comes from the manga. So I'm going to put this as season 1, just to give you a little hint into season 2. In the manga, Erwin states, go for a walk. Specifically says that. Maybe it's time to go for a walk. Hinting at, again, the rumbling. This show astounds me many times. Many times.
Yeah, I would agree. It's
because this is right after they had just discovered that the walls are covered with colossal titans. This is right after. And again, when you're reading the manga, you're thinking maybe it's time for us to go to a walk. Maybe it's time for us to go on a walk. This is like, okay, maybe we need to clear our heads.
Yeah.
No, not my man.
And all
not
of
my
this is
beautiful
just
father.
season 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. So technically, when they find out, isn't it? I believe in season 2 is when they find out all the walls are, or no. Hanji makes a hypothetical that
we're covering
in season 1.
Season 1.
Yes. But specifically, it's technically in season 2 where we're talking about this. But there's a hint towards it. But
yeah.
I believe in season 1, Hanji makes a prediction with Aaron. She stays up all night talking to him and saying that, you know, what Annie's made out of is potentially the same stuff that's made out of the walls. So that could be season 2 hinting at, but there's just so much going into that. When I heard that the manga, when he writes saying, maybe it's time for us to go for a walk. Again, you're thinking they just need to clear their head. Simple. You know, get some air. This is right after they found out that the walls are made out of colossal titans.
Interesting.
Who does this?
Yeah, it's amazing to me how many people are willing to just crap on Attack on Titan and say it's not good. Like, so one of my best friends, he says, I hate I hate the Attack on Titan anime. I love the manga.
The manga.
And that makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah.
He didn't like the way the anime adapted the manga. He's a fan of the story, and I think that's fair. But it blows me away how people can just write it off and say that it's bad. I don't get it. Like, I understand if the gore is too much, or they're definitely not afraid to off characters, and if that's not your jam, then that's not your jam. But it's one of the best written anime, if not the best, like most intricately written anime I've ever seen.
It's a masterpiece.
It's great. And there's gonna be people watching this like, oh well, you haven't watched this anime, you haven't watched this. No, dum, we're not saying that those anime are bad. That's not what we're saying. We're
just elevating how good this specific anime is.
Obviously, there's other anime out there that is masterfully written. There's freaking masterfully written shows out there.
With season 1 of Attack on Titan, you're thinking one specific thing. But by the end of it, your mind is being altered and changed. Realizing that people can't be trusted. What you think is going to happen might not happen. And people you like might not still be alive.
Yeah.
That shows you how this show isn't afraid to take risk. And sometimes that is the best thing you do with anime, because anime is meant to push boundaries, and it does it every single time. It does it perfectly throughout this.
And they build on that every season, and they do it so much to the point where I was very vocal when season 4 came out. I was like, I love this anime. I hate this season. I don't, because it's very abrupt and confusing at the beginning of season 4. And and so I was like, I don't like this. I don't like what happened. I'm really confused. And so, but that was watching it week by week. So afterwards, I went and I was like, all right, let's watch season 3, Let's jump right into season 4 as it's already all out and I can just watch it all. And it makes a lot more sense when you can just watch it back to back to back and you're not like watching a confusing 30 minutes. What is the, who are these people? Where are we? What's going? Are we back in the future? Do we go back in time? Are we in the future? What's going on? But when you can watch, okay, I can watch 4 or 5 episodes at once, and then you get a much better understanding. It's one of those, season 4 of Attack on Titan is one of those shows that is much better served being able to binge it, being able to watch multiple episodes at once. You can grasp what's happening much better.
I think I agree and disagree with that. I remember the first time watching Attack on Titan. When I first started watching it, I could not put it down. Granted, this is when I think 2 or 3 seasons had already been out. And watching the first season, I felt like I was watching a movie. I didn't feel like I was watching anime. I felt like it was so in unison that this was amazing. It was a binge-worthy anime. Watching the second time through, I'm trying to pace myself, but not only pace myself, I'm also pacing my wife because I want to make sure she can understand and grasp everything that's going on instead of being blindsided as bad as I was.
Yeah.
So I've been taking it by mainly we'll try to do 3 to 4 episodes. And then once I know we're about to get to a crazy part, mainly to stop her because I know she'll want to continue. She's like, oh, we can't end off of that episode. And we know how anime is. One more. That right there. It's like when you're playing with friends, you can't get off on a win. You have to play till you lose.
Yeah.
So watching this anime the second time, I feel like if I did season 1, season 2, and season 3, binge worthy. Yes and no. I think now watching the second time through, I would rather watch season 1, season 2, and season 3 weekly.
Oh yeah, sure.
Have the anticipation, but season 4, I will stand. It should be binge worthy,
and that's what I'm saying.
Because so much is happening. I agree with you 100% on that.
So it comes together better because what's happening in season 4 is such a jarring difference. Like
they're shoving so much at you.
You go from the first 3 seasons, you're on parody, and then all of a sudden in season 4, you're not on parody anymore.
You're on Marley, and then you're back on parody, and then you're time traveling, and then you're not back. Then you're not on parody anymore. There's so much going on.
Super
it's hard to track.
Like in those first 5 or 6 episodes, they don't really overtly explain to you like, "Hey, we've gone back to the mainland. This is the main army. These are the warriors in training." It's like it's not overtly explaining that to you. And it's confusing, but you're able to piece it together.
I'll also tell you, starting season 4, I thought I was watching a different anime. I clicked on the wrong anime.
Yes.
Because you're going straight into a war.
Yes.
I'm like, this isn't Attack on Titan. Yeah. There's guns, there's planes, there's trains.
People killing people.
What's going on?
What's happening? And
where's
then
the Titans?
You see Zeke Yeager and Reinhardt.
Oh, that was such a sick intro.
Airplanes sending down Titan bombs. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it just shows you that I think they do a really good job of showing the military power of the Titans and kind of why all of this happened and the world was so terrified of their power because it was astronomical. It was astounding. No wonder that they were able to dominate, and then ultimately what happened to them, they were manipulated and all this crazy stuff happened. But they do a really good job of showing the crazy militaristic, dominating power that the Titans do have. Specifically, with
I'll talk about that more later on. I'll talk about that way more later on. But that was season 1 only, and all those facts right there. Again, you saw how many times I got goosebumps. I do want to know, first off, you guys, which is your favorite fact, but also, Will, which one did you actually not know, or which one stunned you the most?
Which one was it? The why Titans eat people. That was
my favorite one.
Yeah, that was one that, like, once you put it
Think about
together,
that.
it's like, oh wow, that's a really
There's no
good
reason
point.
why they should be eating anything, because they don't go after any other animals.
Yeah, because the regular
just
Titan,
people.
like the actual Titan wielders, they don't just eat people.
They don't need to eat people.
Yeah,
They don't need to eat anything.
and it's just like this residual remnant of
Fixing what's wrong.
of like knowing what they have to do in order to get that power to become human again.
It's so good.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So
It's so good. So
this is gonna be a great series, dude.
yeah,
I'm
and
so excited.
I don't think we'll be doing this like every week. Like, this will be a series that will be broken up, right? So if you're listening to this or you're watching this on YouTube, please let us know. I freaking love this. I love this idea. As this 4-part series, comes to fruition and takes place over however many weeks it's going to take, depending on how well it does. I love this idea. I love the idea of picking an anime that's really popular and 50, 100 episodes or something, and spending, making a series of 2, 3, 4 episodes, really breaking it down by the Easter eggs or breaking down certain things about it. I think that could be a really fun, cool way to continue to make, content and have these cool discussions. And then obviously still do like what we normally do, talking about different topics and news and everything.
Right.
If you're listening or watching, let us know what you think. Do you like that idea? What do you think about it? And like, I wouldn't even be objecting to like watching anime specifically to do something like this in the future. Hey, we're gonna pick this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
well, that's the plan. That's the plan. When we weren't able to do more episodes throughout the week, when schedules start changing in the future for us, which is that we have many talks about this. That's the plan. But this right here, this is something. When you came to me, I can't come to you, Will, and tell you one of my favorite animes and not present you with my best effort. And I realized I could only get you season 1. I can only give you season 1. There's so much to talk about that I want to talk about.
It's true.
And it wouldn't feel right for me to tell you guys everything I enjoyed about this anime.
I only have a few animes tattooed on me, and this is one of them.
The one that you forgot.
Well, I know, I forgot it.
Dude, can we do a whole episode with you not stripping? Like, this is the second week.
If you want to see more,
I appreciate you guys.
Sign up for our Patreon if you want to see the behind the scenes.
And what we could do is,
kidding.
I don't know. I think what we should do also is do like viewing parties on Patreon potentially too, or watch throughs on certain animes too. We could do that.
Yeah,
something to think about
for sure.
But there's so much, and with Attack on Titan specifically, there's so much that we can be doing for the future. And there's a lot. Please stick around for the journey, guys, because this is the best anime in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of the best. I think anybody with the attention span to actually watch with an open mind, who's not turned off by the elements, like I can understand that. Like if the gore, if the elements that are in the show, if that just like you can't handle that, I get it, right?
Yeah.
But anybody that can watch it with an open mind will really like experience something amazing. It's such a good story that's unique. Like, people are like, oh, Attack on Titan, they copied Gundam. No, they did. Like, you can make the joke of saying that Titans are flesh suit Gundam. Like, okay, you can make that joke, and it's kind of funny.
Flesh suit mecha.
Flesh suit mecha. Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. But it's a wholly unique story, and it's fantastic. So I'm excited. What a great idea to like turn this into a 4-part series and just kind of break down each season. I think that's awesome. So let us know what you think, guys. Yeah. Rate the show, comment, like, all that good stuff. We're growing, and we have plans.
We're growing and showing, apparently, Will. You can't keep your clothes on, apparently.
I'm not a shower. I'm a grower.
Well,
because, I have all these social media platforms, and they're all growing really well. What are you thinking about? Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, I was thinking social. 100% social.
But yeah, let us know what you think, guys. Subscribe, rate the episode. We do have a lot of fun plans, and as things grow, we'll be able to do more. And the best thing you can do right now is watch. And submit ratings and all that good
We're
stuff.
growing and showing.
Yes, sir. All right. What are we doing next week? I don't know, but it's going to be fun. So make sure you guys tune in. All right. I guess that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace out, y'all.